Hey everyone, Simon approached me with a very interesting question the other day on the Visual Thinking Workshop Discord server, and I thought I would share the answer with all of you. He wanted to know if it's possible to create templates with Excalidraw. He wants to create wordly maps in particular using this template. So there are 4 different ways that I'm going to show you in this video. They're all super simple, so hopefully you will find them useful and this will improve your experience with Excalidraw and Obsidian. Option 1 involves using the Stencil Library. The Stencil Library is here on the side. If I open it, I already have lots of icons in here, and if I choose an image or a drawing from here, I can just simply click on it and that is inserted here. And by the way, this is an Excalidraw drawing object, so I can go ahead and recolor it if I want to, and I can make changes to it, so this becomes this editable icon that I can reuse anywhere. So let me delete this from here and let's see how we can add Simon's template to the Stencil Library. This is the template that Simon shared with me. So let's add this to the Stencil Library. First of all, I'm going to click Ctrl-A to select all the objects in this drawing. And then I'm going to right-click on this and choose Group Selection. I'm grouping this object into one item, because this way when I insert it into another drawing, it will be more easy to handle this because it won't have the different parts all over the place. So now that it's grouped, I'm going to right-click again and I'm going to choose Add to Library. And when I do this, then if I come over here to the Stencil Library, you can see that this is now in my Stencil Library. So let's see how I would use this in a drawing. So imagine I have an empty file here. This is an empty Excalidraw drawing. I want to use the wordly map template here. So I open the Stencil Library and I click on this object and voila, it's inserted. Now, as an additional improvement, what I recommend you to do is once you've inserted, to click Lock All to lock this in here. And by locking it, what will happen is when you draw on this, so I'm now adding a couple of drawings here, when I select everything, the logged items cannot be selected, they cannot be changed, so they are not going to, the template is not going to be in the way, and as you draw here, then it is just going to be as if the template was not there. It's visible, but it's in the background. If for whatever reason I would want to change on the template here in this drawing, for example, I would want to change the color of the text, I could right click and select Unlock, and then I could double click on the item I want to recolor or change. I could do that, and then I could again lock it, and when I've logged it, then again it's in the background, it won't be in my way. So now let me delete this from here. Let's get back to the empty file. Now the second way to do this is to use the Excalidraw template. So first of all, you need to go to Plugin Settings. So I opened Settings here and I'll scroll down to Excalidraw. And here at the top of the Excalidraw settings, you will see the setting Excalidraw template file. I already have it configured to the template file in my Excalidraw folder. So here I'm going to open this file, and using the quick switcher, I'm just going to type in template. So this is my Excalidraw template file. Now, whatever I put in this template, that is going to be replicated when I create a new drawing. So I'm going to take the Stencil Library, I'm going to insert Simon's wordly map template here, and I'm going to lock this, so this is now nicely locked. And now if I open a new drawing and I click here on the Create New Drawing ribbon button, then a new file is created, and the new file has my wordly map, and the wordly map is not selectable because it's logged. So this way, if I create multiple files, then each of them will come with my template, and this is going to be in my template. I think this approach is excellent if you want some sort of a standard template in your file. Maybe you want a grid in the background, a custom grid. This way you can create it, and whenever you create a new drawing, it will have that grid in there. So now let me delete these files. I don't need this. As well as let me clean up my template file because I actually don't want this in my template. So let me close this and back to the solutions. Solution number 3 involves embedding the template as an image. So why would you want to do this? You want to do this if the template includes a picture. So for example, imagine that I have a picture here. I'm using the command palette, insert image action to insert an image, and I'm going to insert my brain light bulb icon, and I'm just going to make this smaller and place it here in the corner. So imagine that this is how my Wordly map template looks like. Now, if I want to reuse this Wordly map template, then I can press Ctrl P to insert image. And I can just choose the Wordly map template like this. And with this, this image is inserted. Now, it is good to lock this as well, so it's not in the way. So I'm going to click lock. And now this drawing is embedded. And if I draw on top, then it works just the same as the previous option. But now in this case, this is an image. This approach has a hidden benefit. And let me know if you can think of it, what that benefit could be. So the benefit is that if now I come to the template right here and I click on the backlinks, then I will see where this template is used. So for example, imagine that I'm creating an empty drawing here. And again, I'm going to insert the image. This time I'm going to use the Obsidian Tools icon and choose the insert image action. This is exactly the same as in the command palette. And I insert the Wordly map template like this. So I've inserted my Wordly map template here, and I come back to the Wordly map. Then you will see that when I open my Wordly map template file, I already see that this was used in 3 different files. So this way I can find all the documents where I'm using this template. So let me clean this up again. We don't need this, and let me delete this from here as well. So I'm cleaning up, and now we're back here. But it is possible to create this linkage also with the Stencil Library. So you don't necessarily need to insert an image to create this sort of linking. So let me show you how I would do it. So we are now here adding a hidden tag, or you could add a hidden link as well. So let me show you how that works. So now again, I opened the template file. I'm going to delete the brain icon, but I'm going to add a tag here, and I'm going to add the Wordly map tag. So you can see here, I've added this Wordly map. This can be as big or small as you want. I'm now adding it big so you can see it on screen. And after I added the Wordly map tag, I'm going to hide this, and I'm hiding it by making it transparent. So I select the text element and I type transparent like this. And with that, this text disappeared. Of course, it didn't disappear. It's still here. So if I double click, it is right there, and it still says Wordly map, which means that if I open the tags pane right here and I scroll down, then I will see the Wordly map here, which has a single instance in my vault, which is of course this template right here. So let me add this to the Stencil Library. So I'm going to right click and select Add to Library. And let me come to my demo file, and let's add this new second template because this is the one we did the first time. This is the second one with the hidden text. So let me add this to my file. If I double click here, you will see it has the hidden text. Again, I can lock everything and then it's not in the way. But if I come over to my text pane, then you will see that there are two Wordly maps here. And if I click on this, on the number 2, then the search will open and I will see the instances of my Wordly maps right here. So let me again delete this from here and let's move on, approaching the final approach, which is to use templator templates. This is going to be slightly more complicated, but it also comes with lots more power. So I think the complicated and the power does pay off. So let's first of all open my template and let's find this in the file navigator, the Obsidian file navigator. So I'm now right clicking on the tab and I'm going to click here, reveal in file navigation. So when I do this, then it takes me to the template file, which is right here. I'm going to make a copy of this file. So I'm right clicking on this and I'm going to choose make a copy. So I'm creating a second file because I'm going to be modifying this. I don't want to change the original file. So I click make a copy. Now when I create a copy, it opens in this Excalidraw view mode. Don't worry, nothing's happened. You can always click here, right click on the tab and open as an Excalidraw drawing, and then it will open as an Excalidraw drawing. I'm going to now right click here and I'm going to move my file to my tools/templates. So I have, this is my templates folder for templator. So by the way, I should have said this earlier. So here I'm using a community plugin called Templator. So this is the Templator plugin. You can install Templator from community plugins. If you click here on browse and you type in Templator, then you can simply install it. And you need to configure Templator as well. So here I'm going to scroll down in plugin settings to Templator and I'm going to just, you see here, this is my templates folder. This is the tools/templates. So that's where my templator templates sit. And so this is the, I'm just going to rename this file so you can see that this is the copy. This was the original and this is the copy that I moved to the templator folder. I'm going to again click here to reveal this file in file navigation, and you can see here now I'm in my templates folder and this is my Wordly map template. And now I'm going to rename this, just simply I'm going to rename this to Wordly map like this, and I'm going to save this. And now if I want to create a new Wordly map, what I can do is I can open the templator create new node from template action. I have configured Alt-Shift-E as a hotkey, but you don't need to. I'm clicking on the create new node from template and I'm just going to type in Wordly map. So I have my Wordly map here. This is the file in the templator folder. I click on this and here an untitled file was created. And if I switch to Excalidraw drawing, then it's right here. So this way you can have multiple templates, not just the single template that we set up with Excalidraw template, but this way, if you place multiple drawings or template drawings to your templator folder, you can create all of them. I'm going to delete this file. By the way, I could also just create a new empty node. So now I created an empty node and I can again click Control P, templater, and I can click Open Insert Template Model. This is different. You see this has the Alt-E shortcut, so this applies the template to the file I have open. So if I click this, again, I can choose Wordly Map and it's inserted. And if I switch to Excalidraw view mode, then I have my template in this empty file. I'm going to delete this as well. So far, this is interesting, but this is not yet the end. There are two more things I want to show you, which really takes the templater templates to a next level. So first of all, let's just open, so this is my templater template for Wordly Maps. Let's add a timestamp on it. So imagine that this is your template and you want to automatically create this template with a date stating the creation date. So how would I do that? What I would do is I would add a text element here, and I'm going to say created, colon, and now I'm going to insert a piece of code here and explain you what I'm doing. So I'm going to add a simple templater script here. So this symbol at the end and at the beginning marks a templater template code, and this one right here is a simple JavaScript code to insert today's date. So now my template is ready. So let me now create a new file using this template. So again, I'm going to press Control P and I'm going to type templater and I'm going to choose create a new node from template and I'm going to choose a Wordly Map. Now this file is created and I'm going to switch to open Excalidraw drawing like this, and you can see that here on top the template changed to the date today. So the script was executed when I inserted this template. So let me delete this file and let me just add one more trick. So the additional trick I want to do, first of all, notice that here I'm using the apostrophe symbol and not the quotation mark symbol. So I could have also written the code like this, but then it would not work. I won't go into the details, but the way the Excalidraw JSON is created in the background, this will then be converted to / quotation mark, and the script, when templater tries to run the script, will fail. So the point is you should use the apostrophe here and then your script lines will work fine. So that's just as a side note. But now the bit that I don't like about this template is now if I create a new file here, so I'm just going to create again an untitled document. So what I don't like about this is I'm going to insert my Wordly Map, that it opens like this, and I still need to click open as Excalidraw. I mean, this is not a huge issue, but it would be nicer if it would automatically open as an Excalidraw file. So the good news is this is possible and it's actually not that difficult. So now I'm going to switch to the Wordly Map template in the templater folder. And I'm going to switch to Markdown view. And here at the top, above the text elements, but below the front matter, I can add whatever I want to my template. So in this case, I'm going to add a short templater script. So without going into too much detail, what this script is going to do is it's going to execute a command from the command palette. It's going to, so if I open Control P, I open the command palette. There's a command palette action, toggle Excalidraw and toggle between Excalidraw and Markdown mode. This is the action that needs to be toggled, and it will just simply execute that 4 seconds after the file was created. I leave it 4 seconds so Obsidian has time to process this file and for the command palette action to be available. So let's see how this works. If I come here and I choose the insert templater model and I choose Wordly Map and press enter, then after 4 seconds, this turns over and becomes an Excalidraw drawing. So again, this just automates the way this is created. So if I would now create, and I'm going to use now the Control P templater, and I'm going to use the create new note from template. Again, it's going to work the same way. I choose a Wordly Map, I press enter, and I just leave it for 4 seconds, and after 4 seconds it automatically converts into an Excalidraw drawing. And this way you can see that this drawing has the create date, and it was automatically switched to the Excalidraw view. So to recap, adding the template to the Stencil library I think is super easy and practical. This would be my #1 recommendation. Creating an Excalidraw template is good if you want to use the template on all your files. So for example, adding a grid to that template could be something that is useful. Inserting the template as an image, I think this is good if your template includes some pictures as well, because those will not fit the Stencil library. But on the back of this, we explored the benefit of having backlinks and finding all the instances of where I'm using the template. But by the way, then we had this conversation that if you add a hidden tag as a text element to your template that's in the Stencil library, then you can achieve something pretty similar using the tag pane and Obsidian search. And finally, we looked at the templater templates. Yes, this is slightly more complicated, but it comes with huge benefits, because in this case, you can add things like timestamps, and you can add also custom tags and custom text elements and all sorts of good things through this. You can also, via the facilities provided by Templater, you can assign hotkeys to different Excalidraw templates. We are now not going into those details in this video, but actually doing this sort of templating with Templater opens a whole new world for Excalidraw automation. So I hope you found this video helpful. And please let me know if you have other practical problems that you would like to see solutions for. And I'm happy to create other videos that walk through specific use cases and explain how to automate that process using Excalidraw and Obsidian. Thank you.